Good morning and welcome to the show. I have Beverly Sheen. Did I say that right? I almost said Sheehan, but it's Sheen like Charlie Sheen.
Yep, just
no
like
relation,
Charlie
though.
Sheen.
Thank goodness.
I wish.
You're pretty, but you're still winning.
Exactly.
Right. And she's from the Pilots Club here in Panama City, and you're the president-elect.
Yes.
So that means you're the incoming president of the Pilots Club.
I am. Next summer, it's my boat to kind of push through, so I'm excited about that.
You know, I was first introduced to the Pilots Club by a wonderful lady who has since moved out of town. Mm-hmm. But back around 2001, 2002.
That time frame.
Yeah, in that time frame after 9/11, we created a scholarship in my brother's name, and you know he was killed in the World Trade Center at FSU for applied behavior analysis. And then I found out about the Pilot Club, and I spoke to them one time. And since that day, you guys have helped fund this thing year after year after year. Now, what is the Pilots Club and why do you do what you do?
Well, we are an organization that focuses on brain-related disorders. Mm-hmm. And so one of the big things we do is raise money throughout the year, and then we donate it to organizations like yourself that are helping the community, whether it's through educational, whether it's through service programs like Second Chance and things like that, to help those individuals that are affected by brain-related disorders. We have our 3 ABCs. We also help with Anchors, which is in the high schools, getting those kids involved. Brain Minders, teaching little kids about brain safety, wearing helmets, things like that. Mm-hmm. And we're also starting to focus on caregivers because we understand what it means to be a parent or a family member that's providing for someone, and sometimes you just need a time out for yourself to get things done and everything like that.
People do need a little respite from that because, you know, life never stops when you're the parent of a child with a brain abnormality or some sort of disorder like that. Now, in the Pilots Club, you think pilots, you think airplane pilots, but it was really founded by riverboat pilots or the wives of riverboat pilots?
Absolutely. In October of 1921, way back then, some ladies in Georgia got together, about 40 businesswomen, and back then we just had riverboat pilots that were responsible for navigating the waters, and that's where they kind of saw them as people that provided leadership and guidance, and that's why our focus is friendship and service. So we're helping our community, and these are ladies that have been together for 20 years or longer in some cases. That it's just real special to be a part of a group like that that's helping our community.
Yeah, and why brain disorders? Is there a reason that the Pilots Club has taken that on as a cause?
It's just been their focus that they decided to focus on, especially back in the 20s. There probably wasn't a lot understood about it.
It was probably underserved population.
Absolutely,
yeah.
So there weren't people out there helping. So that's why they decided to focus on this. And most of our clubs are organized in raising money, whether it's through, we also have 3 local scholarships that we give to you guys and things like that to help create better services and a better understanding. We've seen just leaps and bounds since your scholarship's been established at FSU and their programming.
Well, we have to run off to the local weather, but on the other side of the weather, I want to talk more about the Pilot Club.
Absolutely.
And maybe how people can help or how they can join, and this is just a fantastic cause that maybe not enough people know about.
Exactly.
And we'll be right back after your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm, westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Beverly Sheen from the Pilots Club, and she is the incoming president of the Pilots Club. Beverly,
absolutely.
Welcome back to the show. I mean, we have the best interviews during the commercial breaks, and I know we talked about a lot because the Pilot Club does so much for people with brain abnormalities and injuries and things like that. And in my particular case, you know, I have a son who has autism, and he has gotten some great services from the ABA program, or the Applied Behavior Analysis program, out at Florida State University here in Panama City. So much so that we created this scholarship back in 2001, 2002, in my brother's name.
Absolutely.
You know, to help these students, you know, get an education. And you guys, year after year, have helped fund that thing.
I'll say, and it's a proud spot for us to be able to say we contribute to this and the changes that those students are making in people's lives and the developments that they're making in the program. So we're always excited to be a part of that. It's a wonderful
program because it's right here in the community.
Exactly.
It's right here in Bay County. Now, they're not limited to Bay County, but they take these graduate students and under the strict supervision of a certified behavioral analyst, they go into the homes for people and actually give these kids some life-changing therapies. And in no small part due to your guys' efforts to help fund the scholarships that help pay for this
and
stuff.
It just opens a whole new world for those individuals and for their families to be able to communicate and things like that. So making anything good is always great.
Yeah, so autism just seems like a perfect fit for your organization, given your mission set of helping people with those type of abnormalities, but you're not limited to that. You do so many other things, don't you?
We do, and we have 4 major fundraisers throughout the year. We have a calendar that we've done for the past 25 years. We have our Luminaries of Love that we normally do downtown at Christmas time. That's been going on since 1999.
That's very nice. I've been to that.
It is. We turn down the lights. We have our bags. You can buy one in memory of a family member, loved one. Then we also have our pancake breakfast into January, beginning of February, that helps support our 3 local scholarships that we give through our anchor clubs that we support at the high schools. And then we also have our 5K run in March. So get a little bit of exercise, have a good time. What more could you ask for?
Now, if somebody wanted to help the Pilots Club out, or you wanted to become a member, or you wanted to contribute to the scholarship, or participate in any of these great events that you have coming up, how do we get in touch with you?
Absolutely. The best way is probably to call me. My number is 527-3067. We do meet the 2nd and 4th Tuesday at Po Folks on 15th, so we have a meeting tonight. If anybody wants to come and see. And we actually have a program meeting, so Second Chance is coming in to tell us about the programs that they offer. It's another organization that we support. So just give me a call and I'll kind of point you in the right direction, get you in touch with the right people.
So just a quick thumbnail in a few seconds we have left. Beside the scholarship, we have the events that you do.
We do. Our Florida district also has 3 scholarship houses. We're the only district for Pilot Club that has that. So girls are able to live there rent-free, and we provide the housing for them.
Yeah.
So what more can we do?
I mean, you're doing a lot.
Exactly, and we love it.
For a relatively small club right here in Bay
County.
But it is an international too. So if you're visiting here from somewhere else, seek out a Pilot Club in your area.
Exactly. Pilot Club International. They had the Bahamas there this year, the people from Japan, and I think there was a few from Africa as well. So.
Well, thank you so much, Beverly.
You're welcome.
Sheen, not Charlie, for coming on the show and for all the good work that you do for the community.
Absolutely. We appreciate being here.
And we'll be right back after your Mad Hatter Minute.
Hi, I'm David Lovett, and this is your Mad Hatter Minute. Your air conditioning system uses a refrigerant gas called Freon to create cold air. The most common reason an AC stops blowing cold is due to a loss of Freon. Refrigerant is a gas in the AC system, and very small holes in the hose, seal, or couplers can allow enough Freon to leak out to prevent the creation of cold air. If your AC system is not blowing cold due to a lack of Freon, it's important to identify the part that's leaking, replace the part that's leaking, and flush the entire AC system. Over time, the inside of the AC system can deteriorate and become contaminated with various bits of debris. These contaminants can clog up the different components of the AC system, preventing proper circulation of the refrigerant. Even worse, contamination can restrict the flow of Freon to critical AC parts such as the AC compressor. Failure of these parts can lead to a costly repair. The only way to clean your AC system of contaminants is flushing the system when repairs are done. Not flushing the system is a substandard repair and will lead to more AC problems down the road. Lastly, if your AC isn't blowing as cold as it used to, check the serpentine belt. A loose serpentine belt or worn serpentine belt leads to belt slippage, which puts additional strain on the compressor. Replacing your serpentine belt as scheduled will increase the life of your AC compressor. I'm David Lovett, and that has been your Mad Hatter Minute.
Hey folks, this is Joshua Brown with Mad Hatter on 23rd Street. Is your check engine light on? If it is, text MADHAT28, that's MADHAT28, to 24247 and we'll check it for free.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Heather Noyes from Raymond James Financial, and we're going to explore what to do when you get perhaps an inheritance. I mean, we're all getting older, except for you, of course, but we're all getting older as a society. And the older we get, the more of these type of events we're going to see where maybe parents or grandparents pass on and we get some sort of inheritance. What do you do with that money? Is that all taxable? Is there a smart way to take that money?
Absolutely, there's a smart way. And depending on what type of asset it is, there are different tax implications based upon the asset. One thing that we talked about is you said, your parents bought their house for maybe $20,000 and it's worth over $500,000 now. Something like real estate.
And they bought the house like 100 years ago. Right? My parents are like 100 years old now. Yeah. So
if you bought any real estate or regular investment accounts like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, at their passing, it gets a stepped up cost basis. So let's say that $20,000 they paid for it, now it's worth $500,000, then your cost basis is now $500,000, and if you sell it for $500,000, there's zero tax implications. Same thing with the stocks. So if they maybe bought Southern Company at $5 a share, and it's $45 today, well, now your cost basis is $45, and if you sell it, there's no tax implications.
So the cost basis is really the purchase price?
Right, but it steps up at their passing whenever they pass it on to you, that your cost basis then steps up at that point.
But when you get an inheritance, that is still a taxable event, right? You'll pay inheritance taxes on that?
Inheritance taxes or estate taxes is a whole different ballgame. So we're just talking really about federal income taxes. Inheritance tax comes into play if they have an estate that's over $5.25 million, or for a couple, $10.5 million this year.
No danger of that happening to me, of course.
One thing is an IRA, because a lot of people, they have 401ks, they've rolled them over to IRAs. Your parents probably have IRAs. They've been taking these required minimum distributions every year that they have to take out of their IRA. Well, they can pass that on to you, and you can have many options. You can cash it out. If you cash it out, you're paying taxes on 100% of that money that you cash out of an IRA. So you've got to take into consideration they've never paid taxes on that money. So the IRS, they want their money at that point.
Right.
The other option is you could continue just taking the required minimum distribution, and there's a set forth by the IRS the amount that you have to take, but allow that money to still grow and be in that IRA and just take the minimal distributions.
Even if you're not of retirement age?
Right. Even if you're 29, in your case, you can...
Just the eyebrows of 29.
You can still take, you just take required minimum distributions still, even if you're not retirement age. And there's no penalties either if you're under retirement age.
So it's just like inheriting any asset, I would imagine, right? And perhaps a little different in that you're not subject to income tax on that?
You would be subject to what you're taking out. So the required minimum amounts that you take out every year, you pay taxes on.
Okay, because an IRA is kind of tax deferred.
Right.
And at the time you withdraw it, then it becomes a
taxable
income.
So you can take it all lump sum, which you're paying taxes then on the whole sum, which is not usually advisable, or take just the minimum that the IRS requires you. Then you're only paying taxes on little amounts every year.
What about annuities?
Annuities are a completely different animal. So let's say your parents bought an annuity and they put $200,000 in it, and they pass away and it's worth $400,000. That $200,000 in earnings is then a taxable event to you as ordinary income.
Wow.
Now, annuities allow you a couple of different options. You can take it out over 5 years. You can take it all out right away, which we see, unfortunately, a lot of.
Wow.
Or you...
Is that wise to take that out all over?
No. I mean, and we would recommend, obviously, working with your CPA and your advisor to determine, especially in the situation of an annuity, how much you want to take out, especially if you can elect to do it over 5 years. Then there may be, I'm going to be in a higher tax bracket this year, I don't want to take any this year, maybe I want to take more the next year or the next year, but they give you a 5-year time period to get all the money out.
So the best advice you would give someone, I guess, if they think that, they're older now and their parents are passing, maybe they have some assets that they're going to leave to them, is see a financial advisor.
Absolutely.
Heather Noyes from Raymond James Financial, we're going to have to let that be the final word, but thanks so much for coming on the show and getting us smart on this inheritance stuff. And we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Peggy Caldwell from the Florida Department of Health in Bay County, and we're going to talk about smoking. Now, you have a special role in the Florida Department of Health here in Bay County, don't you?
Yes, I do. The Florida Department of Health in Bay County falls under the Florida Department of Health, which part of the Florida Department of Health is the Florida Department of Health Bureau of Tobacco-Free Florida.
Yeah, and we've all seen those commercials for tobacco-free Florida, right?
Tobacco-free Florida.
And they're pretty horrendous, and we'll run a few of them during this show as well. Yeah.
Well, they are very, you can't sugarcoat the truth, Don.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the way it is.
Smoking's just bad.
It's bad for you. It is, it contributes to everything from heart disease to brain disorders, You know, it's a danger for someone who is smoking and pregnant. It's not only a danger for the mother, it's a very dangerous for the baby.
There's really no upside to it.
There's no upside for it, nothing.
Yeah, and it's
nothing,
really
nothing.
expensive too. I don't even know what a pack of cigarettes. What's a pack of cigarettes cost nowadays?
They cost about $5.50 a day. So if you smoke one time a day, multiply it times 7, multiply it times another, you know, 4. You keep adding up. I mean, you're talking about, you know, easily $3,000 to $4,000 to $5,000 a year that people spend on tobacco.
Wow. Go buy yourself a latte or something.
Well, or
or
go
save
on
the
a
money.
trip.
Or go on a trip.
Buy
save
a
that
car.
Go to
You know,
Disney
there's
World.
so many things. Save up for your children's,
Rather
you know,
than-
college education, so you can get them out of the house one day.
It is an expensive habit.
It is an expensive habit, and also you want to be an example to your children, because an adult utilizing tobacco is a contributing factor to youth taking up that
Well, I guess if you see mom and dad smoking, it's probably not so bad.
Well, I remember one time I had a foster parent come to me, and she was so upset because she had 3 boys. They were ages 4, 6, and 8 who had picked up butts and were addicted to nicotine.
Holy mackerel!
So you know, it's an interesting world out there that I work in, and it's a very scary one in a lot of ways.
And most of the studies are out on this whole thing. And you know, as we said, you know, before the interview when we were chatting, that you know, nicotine is as addictive as heroin, and a lot of people don't understand that.
No, they really don't. And so what we want to do is do different things in our program, which you said I work in a unique program. Yes, I do. I coordinate the grant from the Bureau of Tobacco-Free Florida. That is the settlement dollars. Remember when the state sued the tobacco companies? And so we are truly tobacco control as well as prevention. We don't, under that funding, we don't teach the cessation classes, but we work with people that do. Area Health Education Center, that's AHEC, they are the ones that receive the funding to teach at the classes. Also,
that's a catchy name for smoking. AHAC.
AHAC. And then of course we have Lisa Ron at our health department that also does teach cessation classes. My role is to promote them. So the Tobacco-Free Florida does offer itself a number of free resources to quit that people need to be aware of. You know, these services are available at no cost.
Peggy, we got to run off to a break, but on the other side of that, maybe we can talk about some of the programs that are available to people and how they can avail themselves of that.
I think that's a great idea.
And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Peggy Caldwell from the Florida Department of Health here in Bay County, and we're talking about how to quit smoking. Now, before the break, we talked about you had some programs that were available to smokers for free to help them quit this expensive and dangerous habit.
That's right, and it's free. They can get nicotine replacement therapy if it is available at the time. And I just want to make them real clear, the 3 easy and free ways to quit. We've got Talk to a Quit Coach, which would be making a phone call to Tobacco-Free Florida. They would be calling, you know, a quit line, quit helpline.
Okay, what is that number?
That number is 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW.
1-877 You Can Now.
You Can Now.
Okay.
And you would talk to someone. They also have, you know, if anybody is bilingual or speaks Spanish, I mean, they have somebody in different languages to speak with them. The other way is online. People could get on their computer and they could do it themselves at home, find help like that. It's only a few clicks away.
So do you go to the Florida Department of Health? And
well, you would go to www.quitnow.net/Florida.
www.quitnow.net/Florida. Way too easy.
Now this one is the one that happens around that's close to home for us, and people who really need help one-on-one or in a group setting, they want to work with a coach. And that would be, if you're looking for face-to-face, you would want to get with www.ahectobacco.com. www.ahec, that's Area Health Education Center, tobacco.com. And we do have some classes coming up very soon, and I brought information about that because I think it's important people know.
And where are the classes going to be?
Those classes on, the soonest one that's taking place is on Tuesday, September 9th, and that one will be taught by James Lewis from AHEC. He's a fabulous, fabulous coach. He's wonderful. And if you were interested in that, then you could email him, and that's Lewis, you know, James Lewis, J. Lewis at bigbendahec.org. The next one after that will be taught, and that one is being taught at the Healthplex. You know, the one over there on 77?
Sure, yeah.
That's the Healthplex.
In Baldwin,
and
right there,
it's
yeah.
only 2 hours. They cover a lot in 2 hours, so it's short, sweet, to the point, and they give them the tools they need to help them become tobacco-free. It takes place from 5:30 to 7:30. All classes that I'm talking about take place from 5:30
So you can go on your way home from work.
You could. And then the other one next will be taught at the Florida Department of Health in Bay County. That's our health department on 11th Street, right there across from Jinx. And that one's taught by Lisa Ron here at that, and it takes place on September 24th.
So Peggy Caldwell, we are so out of time, it's not funny, but
I know.
you know, in this day and age, why people smoke, it's just, it staggers the mind. It's expensive, it's unhealthy, and you'll live longer and happier without it. And if you want to quit, you could do it for free. It doesn't cost you anything.
And these are the best tools to use.
Yeah. And
they really are the best tools to use. You need to quit all tobacco products, everything from the e-cigarette to the nicotine replacement patches, the whole thing, the spit tobacco, any tobacco form of
healthy.
tobacco. Live healthy.
Life is hard enough. Stop smoking. And we're going to have to let that be the final word, and we will see you next time.